So welcome to another section. Can you see? Hi everyone, good evening. Can you hear me? Okay, let's start. So today we are going to start with a new chapter. Hope your friends are reached. Yeah, you're audible. Okay, thank you. So today we start with another chapter which is called polynomials. Okay, so hope this chapter is covered in your class. Okay, now the basic outline of this chapter is presented over here. Okay, so starting with polynomial, we have to learn what is a polynomial, then the basic terms associated with it, like what are terms, what are coefficients, what are degree. Then we have to learn about types of polynomial. Mainly, the types of polynomials are basically classified into two categories. That is based on the number of terms. Some categories are there based on the degree also. We can classify polynomials. So the thing is that based on the number of terms, again, it is classified into three, that is monomial, binomial, and trinomial. We will go into the details. Okay. And based on the degree of the polynomial, it is divided into three. That is again, what are they? Linear polynomial, quadratic polynomial, and cubic polynomial. This is the very basic outline of the chapter. And also we have to learn about zeros of a polynomial and what is the root of a polynomial. Then factorization, how to factorize a polynomial using the factor theorem and also using splitting the middle term. Two methods we have to cover there. Then some algebraic identities. So the problems based on algebraic identities also there. So these are the basic things of the overall overview of the chapter. Understood? Now let's go into the detail. Suppose if you consider this, okay, a one variable game. So it's actually the flashcard I have taken from the flashcard. Okay, this is actually a flashcard for this particular chapter. Okay, suppose if the height of the ball after x seconds is minus x square plus 10x plus 35. From this, equation, or I say from the polynomial, particularly I have to say from the polynomial, what all things we can deduct from this, or what all things you understand from this. What is the x actually called? It is the variable, right? X is actually the variable. So if you look at that particular polynomial, this has only x variable, right? Only x, that is x square, 10x. That means both contains only the x variable. So x is a variable over here. Understood? Now, so this is a particular polynomial in one variable. Okay, this is a particular polynomial in one variable. Okay, now what can you say about the terms of this particular polynomial? If you look at this minus x square, it is a one term. If you take 10x, this is another term, and plus 35 is another term. So terms means different terms combined together to form a polynomial. Understood? Different terms that in between, either you can plus sign or you can put minus sign. Understood? So along with the sign, you have to take it. Okay. And this particular polynomial consists of how many terms? Three terms. Which are the three terms? Minus x square, 10x, and 35. If you look at x square, it is the second degree term, or we say x square, x to the power 2. The 2 represents what's the degree of the polynomial. Degree, so we can deduct that. What we can understand from this, the degree of the polynomial is 2 from that particular term. That is minus x square. The 2 represents the highest power in the variable. So in this particular polynomial, we have only one variable, that is x, and the highest power of that variable is 2. So hence the degree of the polynomial is what? 2. Clear? And what are the terms? You understood that also. Now we have to learn about what are coefficients. What are the coefficients? Coefficient means it is a numerical factor that is associated with a variable. If I say what is the coefficient of x square, what will be your answer? Is it minus 1 or plus 1? What is the answer? Yes, it is minus 1, right? Yes, minus 1. Why? Because along with the sign, we have to take it. Minus 1 will be the coefficient of x square. Okay, coefficient of x square is along with the sign. I am repeating it, along with the sign, you have to take it. Coefficient of x square. Now, if I say 10x, what is the coefficient of x? Because with associated with that x, I have only plus 10. Correct. Very good. Yes, plus 10. So I have only plus 10. So the coefficient of x is plus 10. Okay. And 35 is actually, it's a constant polynomial. I can say it's a constant, right? Nothing, no variable is associated with it, just 35. 35 means it has only one value, that is only 35. So it is called as a constant. Understood? So we have learned what are variables and how the terms, how they are formed, and what are the coefficients, and also we learn how, what is the degree of the polynomial. Understood? Now let's move on to the next slide. So basically you can understand that this polynomial consists of many terms are there, and the terms contain different coefficients, right? Different terms have different coefficients. Now okay, now let's see. Start moving. 1 minute. Okay, network issue, sorry. But it's not moving. So happened 1 minute. Network issue, I think. Okay, it's okay. Okay, so coming to the next classification, that is types of polynomials based on a degree. Can you see? Yeah, Evelyn, any doubt? Evelyn, any doubt for you? Just put in your chat, okay? Now, based on the polynomials, okay, based on the degree of the polynomial, how can we classify? They are classified into linear polynomial, quadratic polynomial, and a cubic polynomial. Now, linear polynomial means it's a polynomial having only degree 1, okay? Yeah. So what is linear polynomial? It is a polynomial having only 1 degree. That means I can write 4x plus 7 is one linear polynomial. It's an example for a linear polynomial. So from this, what you can write the general format ax plus b. So linear polynomial is of the form ax plus b. That is where a and b are constants. And also we should take care of one variable, that is a. A should not be equal to 0. If this a is 0, that means x term is not there, then it will be only 7. So that is not actually a linear polynomial. It is something called a constant polynomial. Okay. Yeah, it is stuck. Some network issue may be due to that. Okay. Yeah. So AB are the constants and AB not equal to 0. That is happening in a linear polynomial, right? For example, is 4x plus 7. If you write 4x, it's again a linear polynomial. Only thing is that, remember, the degree of the polynomial should be what? Yeah, the degree of the polynomial should be what? 1. Linear polynomial. It should be linear. No powers should be there. Understood? So that is actually called linear polynomial. An example I have already written here, 4x plus 7, or you can write 4x, 3x. All these are some examples of linear polynomial. Now coming to quadratic polynomial, it's of degree 2. So what are the you can see only the first page, maybe due to the some network issue. Can others see? Can you all people see the screen? No? Okay, let me check. Can you see now? Just tell me. Yeah, now it's okay. Okay. It's maybe due to the network issue. Okay, right? Okay. So what I was saying is that, yes. Okay. Thank you, students. Thank you. So we were saying about, should I repeat it? Linear polynomial. Linear polynomial is actually a polynomial with a degree 1. So for example, 4x plus 7, where 4x plus 7 means it's a linear polynomial because the power or the highest power with the variable is 1. So we can say it is a linear polynomial. Only thing is that it is not depending on the number of terms. You can have as many terms, but the thing is that the highest power of the term should be 1. So 4x plus 1, 4x plus 7 is our one example. 4x is another linear polynomial. So the general form of linear polynomial is ax plus b, where a and b are constants. Okay. And also, you should remember that a should not be equal to 0. What happens if a is equal to 0? If a equal to 0 means it's actually in this example 4. Okay. So if this is 0, this becomes 0 means it will give only 7. So 7 is actually not a linear polynomial. That means it contains a variable term x with a degree 1. Understood? So these are the basic properties or basic characteristics of a linear polynomial, that a and b should be a constant and a should not be equal to 0. Okay. And the general form is ax plus b. Example, 4x plus 7, 3x is another term, then 4x is another term. Like that, x term should be there. Understood? Now, what about quadratic polynomial? It is a polynomial with degree 2, quadratic. Sometimes it's also called a second order polynomial. Okay, with degree 2. Right? Now, Can you tell me the general form of a quadratic polynomial? Quadratic polynomial is always of the form ax square plus bx plus c. If you look at this, what is the degree of x over here? The variable is 2. That means degree is equal to 2. It can have as many terms. And the condition is that a, b, c should be some constants. Okay. Earlier a and b only. Now we have a, b, c. 3 constants are the a, b, c. All should be constants. And particularly a should not be equal to 0. So if you go to the higher level, every term, if you look at the x plus b, the first term, that is ax, there a should not be equal to 0. If that a equal to 0, then we will be reduced to b. So we will not get a linear polynomial. Similar in the quadratic polynomial also. The first term means ax square. In that ax square, a should not be equal to 0. If a is equal to 0, you will get bx plus c. It will become a linear polynomial. Understood? So a should not be equal to 0. So for the condition to be satisfied, what are the things to be known? A, B, C should be constants, and also a should not be equal to 0. What are the examples? Can you say 2x square plus 1? Is it a quadratic polynomial? Yes, we just need to check only the degree of the polynomial or the power contained in that variable. That is x2 now. So we get 2x square plus 1 is actually a quadratic polynomial. That means the middle term bx is not there. It is not a necessary condition. So the main criteria to be satisfied is that the term associated with the x square, that is always say the first term ax square term should be there. So that is a condition. Understood? So 2x square plus 1 is a quadratic polynomial. Understood? Now coming to the cubic polynomial, it is of degree 3. So degree 3 means it will go to the higher level. It will take another one more constant. So what will be the general form? Ax cube. So the highest degree should be 3. Ax cube plus bx square plus cx plus d. And what is the condition to be satisfied over here? We got the general form. Here A, B, C, D. All this A, B, C, D should be constants. And also the first term, because the highest degree term is ax cube. There a should not be equal to 0. If a becomes 0, what happens? It will reduce to again a quadratic polynomial. You will get the just lower polynomial. Understood? This is how we are this is how we are classifying the polynomials based on the degree. Understood? Now, let me ask you another question associated with the degree question. What is the degree of a constant polynomial? Can you answer it? What is the degree of the constant polynomial? What do you mean by that? Constant polynomial. Yes, it's 0, right? So how can you, how you got the answer? What is a constant polynomial? Constant polynomial means it's a polynomial having only the constant term. That means 35 is a constant polynomial because 35 is actually into 1. Actually, what is that 1 means? We can write in terms of exponent, that is x raised to 0. From that, we can understand that the degree contained in that is only 0. So the degree of the constant polynomial is a big 0. Understood? Yes, 0. X raised to 0. Now, let me ask you another question. What is the degree of the, what is the degree of the 0 polynomial? Already you have seen what is a constant polynomial. Now my question is, what is the degree of the 0 polynomial? 0 polynomial. 0 polynomial is represented by 0. 0 is actually what? Something very mysteries are there behind the 0. So can you say the degree of a 0 polynomial? Because 0 into 1, if you write like this, 0 into 1 is actually x raised to 0, which will is again a something called 0. We get 0 only. So can you specifically say what is the degree of the 0 polynomial? Can you say any number? Yes, x raised to 0 or any, particularly if we say what is the degree, we cannot say can be 1 x raised to 2, any number. So it's actually, we cannot correctly say what is the degree of a 0 polynomial. So we can say it is undefined or it is not defined. Undefined or not defined, anything is correct. Understood? So this is the degree of a 0 polynomial. So degree of a constant polynomial is 0 and degree of a 0 polynomial is undefined. Correct. Understood? So this much is clear. Now coming to types of polynomial based on the number of terms. These all are very simple. Because monomial, from the word itself, you can understand mono means one. That means it contains only one term, that is 2x. Example is given there, containing only one term. What is binomial means? Bi means what itself is 2. So consisting of 2 terms. So example is shown here, 2x plus 3y. The first term is 2x and second term is 3y. So consisting only 2 terms. So if you asked you to write a binomial, just write 2 terms. Okay. And if it's particularly telling that its degree should be so and so, then you have to be very careful. We will do one problem mix up with this binomial, mix up with this types of polynomial based on the number of terms and the degree. Okay, we'll solve one problem. Okay. Now, trinomial means tri means 3 terms. And how many terms in this? 2x square plus 3x plus 5. So the terms contained in this only again 3. And polynomial, we generally use the term polynomial means if there are more than 3 terms. Generally, we say polynomial. Actually, if there are 4 terms, we call it as quadric. Quadric is there, like that 5 terms again, another names are there. So you don't need to go for the higher polynomial classifications. Only up to 3 only discussed in this particular grade. Understood? So polynomial is more than 3 terms are there. So it's actually quadric. It's a term called quadric, like trinomial, binomial, it's called quadric, like 4 terms. So here you have to learn only 3, so that I restricted the study to up to only trinomial. Understood? Now, we have to learn what are zeros of a polynomial. Just brush up. Okay, what is the zero of a polynomial? That means if you have a polynomial p of x, okay, now if you substitute some value, like it can be a variable, like it is a. Okay, if you substitute that a into that particular p of x means your polynomial. It's contained with x plus 1. For example, x plus 1. Okay, if we substitute some value into this x plus 1 and you get that p of x is equal to 0, you can say what value makes that p of x 0? That will be the 0 of the polynomial. You can say the number that makes p of x or p of a equal to 0 is called the number, the particular number. If a is that particular number, we call a as a 0 of the polynomial. Understood? For example, if p of x is equal to x plus 1, so what you have to do? If you put minus 1 into this, what happened? Minus 1 plus 1, you get p of x is equal to 0. P of minus 1 is equal to 0. So since you substituted minus 1 into this polynomial, you got it as 0, right? So since you're getting the answer as 0, you can say this minus 1 is the 0 of the polynomial. Which polynomial? My polynomial is now, I've taken a linear polynomial x plus 1. Understood? Minus 1 is the 0 of the polynomial x plus 1. Understood? That is actually the zeros of a polynomial. Another term we have to mention about here is a root of a polynomial. Okay, what do you mean by root of a polynomial? Actually, root of a polynomial and zero of a polynomial is very confusing. The only thing is that when you consider a root, okay, if your question is to find the root of a polynomial, what you have to do, if you're given as some polynomial, equate it to 0 and solve for the variable. If the variable is in x, solve for x. You get the value. You will get some value. That value will be the root of that polynomial equation. Understood? If I ask you to find the root of a polynomial x plus 1, what you have to do? Just substitute or just equate that x plus 1 is equal to 0. You have to substitute that is equal to 0. Then you get x and solve for x. Here x is equal to minus 1. So you can say minus 1 is the root of the polynomial equation. Minus 1 is the root of the equation. Which equation? X plus 1 is equal to 0. This particular equation, you are getting the root as what? Minus 1. Understood? So that is the difference between zeros and a root. Root means you're getting some polynomial equation, equate that to 0 and solve for that value of that particular variable used in that polynomial equation. You get the root. And 0 means in that p of x, you are substituting some value. And if your p of x is equal to 0, then which value make that particular polynomial equal to 0? That will be the 0 of the polynomial. Understood? We'll solve some problems. Understood? Now, one more thing we have to learn over here in this particular thing is a factor theorem. Not one more thing, the second last topic. One is a factor theorem, then how to factors and algebraic identities. So factor theorem is basically means what? This again a flashcard screenshot. I have kept it over here. Okay. So if you have a p of x, okay, p of x, and you have a, it's a something called a real number. A is any real number. And what you have to do, if p of a equal to 0. So in the question, some details will be given. Either this will be given. If p of a equal to 0, then you have to find the factor. Maybe the question may be asking that way. So you have to find the, using the factor theorem, we can write if p of a equal to 0, what is actually p of a? X minus a. That means x minus a just equal to 0. You will get the value of x. This value, what your value of x is making, that particular value of x is making p of a 0. So x minus a equal to 0. From that you get x is equal to a. So this a is actually meaning over here. Okay. So if p of a equal to 0, then you can say x minus a is the factor of p of x. Like as you say 18. If you're dividing by 6, you get remainder 3. Right. Sorry, you get remainder 0 and your quotient is 3. So we can say 3 is a factor of 18. The same way, if p of a equal to 0, you can say x minus a is a factor of p of x. Or maybe in the other way, in two phrases, in two ways, the factor theorem is described. So one is if p of a equal to 0, then x minus a is a factor of p of x. Now, if p of a, if x minus a is a factor of p of x, then p of a is equal to 0. Both way it is interconnected. Okay. If one is equal to 0, the other will be the factor of p of x. If x minus a is a factor, then p of a equal to 0. You got the idea? Understood? That is actually the factor theorem. Okay. Just the only thing is that we need to factorize it. That means you get different factors. Okay. Understood. Now we have to see algebraic identity. This is something you have to learn it by yourself. For the squares, we have set of identities, and for cubes, we have a 3 main identities. Okay, related to the cubes: a plus b the whole cube, a minus b the whole cube, a cube plus b cube plus c cube minus 3ab. This is actually based on these identities. You may get questions. Okay, this is more important. Okay. For the identities, especially you have to use maybe based on this, some questions may be asked. Okay, so the squares, I'm not telling you to learn all this because all these are, I think you have learned in lower classes. So this also you may get easily. So the remaining 4 is actually only important for you because in this particular class you are learning more about this. Yes, that's what I told. The last 4 you have already learned in the previous year. Right. So only you need to learn this one and these 3. The cubes are very important because something new for you. So you may get, definitely you may get one question from that. Okay, based on the identity. Understood? Now, shall we go for the questions? Yes, we'll do some problems and then you will get a clear-cut idea of this chapter. Okay, write the coefficient of x square in each of the following. Okay, my question is write the coefficient of x square. Particularly, it is asked coefficient of x square. So look into only the x square term, the term containing x square. Only look into that. Okay, so just we'll make a column over here. You have a polynomial. Okay, and I have to find the coefficient of x square. And also it is asked write the degree of each polynomial. So degree of each polynomial also have to write. So I'm just making a table. It's not necessary. You can do it in the other way also. Okay. So first is 2 minus 4x square plus x. Put down your answers in the chat. Let me see. 2 minus x square plus x cube root 2x minus 1 by 2. This term is root 2 into x. Okay. Root 2 into x. Not within the root. Okay. Yeah, tell me the answers. What is the coefficient of x square in this first one? Yes, correct answer. Minus 4. And what is the coefficient of x square in this? It is minus is there. So it is, means minus 1. And what is over here? What is the coefficient of x square in the third question, root 2x? Is there any x square term is there? No. So the coefficient will be 0. Understood? Yes, 0. Yes. No coefficient. I can say the coefficient is 0. Right? Because 0 into x square. So the coefficient is 0. Now, what about the degree? The first one, what is the degree? What is the degree? Yes. Let me see the answers. Yes, 2. Correct, Sriraj. 2. Then second one, what is the degree? Just look into the power of x. It is 2 or 3. Yes, it is 3. Correct. And last one, what is the power? It is 1. Right, correct answer. Correct. 0. How? 0? 1. Sriraj, it's 1. Degree I'm asking. Okay? Yes. Okay. Understood. Hope this is very simple question. Right. Now let's see the next question. Calculate the perimeter of a rectangle whose area is 25x square minus 35x plus 12. So area of a rectangle is given 25x square minus 35x plus 12. When you get a quadratic equation or quadratic polynomial, what you have to do is you have to do a factorization method by splitting the middle term. That means you have the middle term over here as minus 35. Okay, I'm not taking the variable, just minus 35. Take it as minus 35. And that is your b term because the general form is x square plus bx plus c, right? So what is the b over here? Minus 35. And what is the a and c? What are a and c? A is 25 and c is 12. So you have to factorize in such a way that B should be, that means the sum of terms should be minus 35 and the product of terms AC should be 25 into 12, which makes 300. And the sum of terms should be minus 35. So we have to find for the factors or the which combination will satisfy this both conditions. That AC product should be 300 and B should be minus 35 because I want two numbers. So first number plus second number, I have to get minus 35. And if I multiply first number with second number, I have to get 300, which is that particular combination. Which number will satisfy? Can anybody tell? Minus 35, minus 15, minus 20. Does it satisfy? I get the sum as minus 35. This is correct. And if I multiply minus 15 into minus 20, minus it become plus. That means 15 into 2 is 30. 0 will come 300. So this particular factor will satisfy your condition over here. So I can split 25x square minus, I can write it as 15x, right? 50 minus, I have to now split that the middle term minus 35 as minus 15 and minus 20. How will you write now? So minus 15x minus 20x plus 12. So you have splitted this 35 into two terms. Understood? So now you just have to solve it. Okay. So take the common term. So take from this to take any common term. So 5x is the common term. So remind I get 5 5 is 25x minus 5 into 3, 5x minus 3. So once you got the first factor, this is actually one factor. So right over here, the same thing, 5 makes simple for you. And now see how to get minus 20x plus 12 from this. So what I have to multiply with here? Minus 4. Because check here, minus 4 into 5 is minus 20x. Now minus 4 into minus 3 is plus 12. So now you got 5x minus 3, inside also 5x minus 3. If that's same only, we can take again the common. 5x minus 3 into 5x minus 4. Now, your area is actually split into two different terms. So, one you can take it as length and one you can take it as breadth. Understood? Now, my question is to find the perimeter. So, how to find the perimeter of a rectangle is 2 into L plus B. Just substitute these values. 5x minus 3 plus 5x minus 4. Nobody got the answer? 5x plus 5, 10x. Minus 3 minus 4 is minus 7. You get 20x minus 14. This is the perimeter I'm getting for this particular rectangle with area 25x square minus 35x plus 12. Got the answer? You just have to split it. Use the that splitting method, that middle term splitting into two. This is also something very, very important. Factorizing the method using the splitting middle term. So you get Paka, you will get a one question. Get thorough with the concept. If you have doubt in that, do more and more problems. Okay, start with simple problem, then go to some complicated problem, and you will get thorough with this format. Understood? Shall we go to the next question? Factorize 5p square minus p minus 18, right? Minus 18, right? By splitting the middle term. Again, in the previous one, it is not particularly said to factorize. In this particular question, it is said to factorize. So when you get a quadratic, only this is we are doing for the quadratic polynomial, okay? Because they are having the degree as 2. Now here the variable used is p. So remember, when you solve, instead of p, don't write it as x, okay? Because in the question, if it is given p, use the p only. Okay, don't change that variable to x or any other variable. Usually we are used with x. So if in the question, if it is p, use the variable instead of x, another variable is taken. Only meaning is that, or the meaning only is only that. Okay. So now shall we do with this? 5p square minus p minus 18. So here, what is b? Minus 1. What is a? 5. And what is c? Minus 80. Now take a into c. Just take the product of first into the last. Okay, first into the last. You get AC as minus 90. And you have to choose two numbers in such a way that the product is minus 90 and the sum should be, or when you add or subtract, you have to get minus 1. Okay, so what are the numbers? Which is the two numbers? Can you people hear me? Can you hear? Hello? Yeah, okay, sure. Okay, so what is this AC? The product of the terms, right? So that means I have taken 5 and minus 18. So the first term, constant term, and the last, that is along with the minus, you have to take 5 into minus 18, you get AC is equal to minus 90. And your middle term is minus 1. So now you have to take a different combinations. Which is a different combination? Yes, 10 and 9. Yes. If I take 10 and 9, 10 into 9, I get 90. But I need minus 90. So one number should be negative and other should be positive. And also remember, here it is minus 1. So which number should be the negative number? Minus 10, right? So then it will be minus 90. And minus 10 plus 9, what I get? Minus 1. Got the answer? Yes. Now we got the two numbers. Now we have to split this minus p in terms of these two numbers. That is 5p square minus 10p plus 9p. You just look into that. Minus 10p and 9p. You get minus p. Now if you multiply this minus 10 into 9, again you get as minus 90. So these both conditions should be satisfied. You have to choose a number in such a way that these two conditions should be satisfied. Understood? So the sum of these two numbers should be minus 1 and the product of these two numbers should be what? Minus 90. Now solve for this. Okay. Taking 5p common, you get p minus 2, right? 5p square minus 10p. Now again, I'm writing the same minus 2, p minus 2 over here also. Now plus 9. Now from these two terms, I'm getting this. Okay. So now taking the 9 common, 9 into p minus 2. What I'm getting here over here? Sorry. P minus 2, I got it in one bracket. Now what is left? 5p plus 9. So write this over here like this, 5p plus 9. So this is how we should factorize. So now I got it as two factors, two linear polynomial, I can say, p minus 2 and 5p plus 9. Understood? Any doubt? Any doubt? Anyone? Okay. Yeah. Yeah, sure. Now next question. Find the roots of the quadratic polynomial s square plus 7s plus 12. Okay. Find the roots of the quadratic polynomial. How will you do? I told you, if I ask you to find the root of the quadratic polynomial, the very first thing you have to do is just write the polynomial as it is. Okay. Here also the variable is yes. Okay, so remember the variable over here is yes. So your entire steps should go with only yes. No, don't take instead x. Okay, you cannot change the question. Okay, so x square plus s square plus 7x plus 12. For the very first step to find the root is equate it to 0 and just solve for the value. Now, how to solve this? This is again, you have to split the middle term. Okay, now what is a over here? 1. What is c? 12. So what is AC? AC you get it as 12. What is the middle term? B is 7. So you have to choose two numbers in such a way that their product should be 12. Okay, 12 kittanam. So what is A and B? A, if I take 1 and B as 12, you get A into C as 12. But what about B? If you add, you get it as 13. Does this satisfy? No. If I take A is equal to 2 and B is equal to 6, I get A into C. Sorry, A into C. I get A into C as 12. Now what is B? If I add these two, 2 plus 6, 8. Again, this is not satisfied. Now if I take A equal to 3 and C is equal to 4, okay. Now what are the two numbers? 3 plus 4, I get it as 7. And 3 into 4, I get it as 12. So your AC will be 12. And if you add it, you get 7. We need that same combination. So your two numbers will be 3 and 4. So how will you write it? Yes, 4 and 3. So s square plus. So even if you got the product 12, the combinations for 1 and 12 and for 2 and 6, you cannot take these numbers because their sum is not 7. It is 1 for 1, it is 13 and 1 is 8. So you cannot take that combination. Both product and sum should be satisfied. So here it should be 4s plus 3s plus 12 is equal to 0. Now take s common from these two, s into s plus 4. And from here, s plus 4 plus 3, right, is equal to 0. S plus 4 into s plus 3 is equal to 0. This equal to 0 should be there. Okay. Now, because for finding the root, I told you the polynomial should be equal to equate to 0. So for solving this, s plus 4 is equal to 0. That means s is equal to minus 4. And for s plus 3 is equal to 0, s is equal to minus 3. So minus 4 and minus 3 are the roots of this quadratic polynomial. Understood? Got the answer? Minus 4 and minus 3. Understood? Any doubt? Just solving, equate equal to 0 and then solving, you get the value. You get some value. So that values are actually the roots. Understood? Roots. Root. Where is the root actually? If you go for a plan, it is underneath. So you have to solve it, solve it, solve it. And finally, you get some value. Like as you dig inside the ground. You dig it, dig it, dig it, you get the root. Right? Same way. Solve it, solve it, solve it. And simplify and you finally get the S value. So here the polynomial contain the variable yes. So the entire step should go with yes only. Understood? So s is equal to minus 4 and minus 3 are the answers. Understood? Now let's see the next question. Compute the value of 9x square plus 4y square. I'm not see. Yeah. So compute the value of 9x square plus 4y square plus so what you have to do is here 3x plus 2y is equal to 12 is given. You have to compute the value of this particular thing. So what you have to do is you can start with a given you can start with the thing which is given in the question, that is 3x plus 2y equal to 12. Now if you square both sides, squaring both sides, what you will get, that is 3x plus 2y the whole square is equal to 12 square. I told you, if you are doing the squaring on one side, that should be done on the other side also. Okay. Now, this is of the form a plus b the whole square. That is a square plus b square plus 2ab. So, can you do 9x square plus b square? That is your 2y over here. Your a is what? 3x. And your b is nothing but 2y. So 2y the whole square is 4y square plus 2 into 3x into 2y is equal to, what is 12 square? It is 144. So 9x square plus 4y square. What is 2 into 3? 6. 6 into 2? 12xy is equal to 144. So what I have to find? 9x square plus 4y square, which is equal to 144. I'm taking this 12xy to the other side because in the question we need to find only 9x square plus 4y square. 144 minus 12xy. And what is the value of xy given? It is as 6, right? Xy equal to 6. 9x square plus 4y is equal to 144 minus 12 into 6. Xy is given as in the question as 6. So take xy equal to 6. So 144 minus 12 into 6 is 72. Again, you get it as 72. Right? So what is the answer? 72. 144. Sriraj, please check the answer. 9x square plus 4y square you have to find. And xy is given as 6. Okay. Xy equal to 6. Next question. So this is what I told you. Give an example of a monomial. Give an example of a monomial and a binomial having degrees 75 and 25 respectively. That means you have to give an example for a monomial with degree 75, and you have to give an example for a binomial having degree what? 125. How will you find? Monomial means there is only one term and degree is 75. One term means I'll take the x term. Degree means some variable should be there because the power, to the power, we have to take it, right? If we say degree 2, I have a x square term in the in our polynomial. So if it is a polynomial, there is only one term and its degree should be 75. So what will be the answer? X raised to 75. Understood? Is this a monomial? Yes, because it contains only one term. And what is the degree of this monomial? It is 75. Got it? Both conditions based on the number of terms and the degree. Now, how will you write this binomial with the degree 125? How will you write? It contains two terms and the degree should be 125. That means you just write x and write 125 over there. Whatever degree is given, just write about that. Okay? Plus, binomial means any two terms. It's not necessary. Okay? Already you have written x raised to 125 means the criteria, this degree 125, the criteria is satisfied. Now you can write any term here. Like you can write 125 over here, or you can write x raised to 125 plus 125x, or you can write x raised to 125 plus 125x, plus 125x, or plus x you can write. Okay? Yes. 100 raised to 75 because it's no, it's not like that. 175 plus 100 x raised to 100 x raised to 125 plus 25. This is how you're written, right? Yeah, this is a binomial. Yeah, correct only. 100, you can write any coefficient in before. And 100 raised to 75, it is wrong. 100 raised to 75 means just a number. Okay, the degree means you need some variable. Okay, just write, take a one variable, write 75 above. This is how the monomial is getting. Understood? Lakshmi, do you understand? Did you get? X raised to 75. You can use any other variable you can use. T raised to 75 or S raised to 75 or U raised to 75. You can take any variable. Some variable should be there raised to the given degree. Your binomial means 100 raised to 100x raised to 125 plus 75. That is also correct. Understood? So just be very careful. Okay. 37c raised to 75. Yeah, that is also a monomial. Correct, Sriraj? Anything you can write. You can add any coefficient in before. 37 or 1 by 2. You can add any coefficient in before. Only thing is that it should be it should not contain any plus sign or minus sign in between. Because if you add any plus sign or minus, it becomes a two different terms. Understood? So that is one kind of problem. Now find the value of the polynomial 5x minus, sorry, 5x, my minus gone down. 5x minus 4x square plus 3. Time is there, no? Yeah, 52 y raised to 125 3 dots binomial. It's not a binomial. For the previous question, 52 y raised to 125 is not a binomial. It's a monomial only. But degree should be 125 and it should be a binomial. So plus one term also should be there. Okay, now see this question. 5x minus 4x square plus 3. You have to find the value of the polynomial at x is equal to 2 and x is equal to minus 3. Sorry, minus 1. So what you have to do at x is equal to 2 means just put x is equal to 2 in this particular polynomial. So let p of x is equal to this. Okay, now x is equal to 2 means p of 2 have to find. Just substitute the value of 2 into this. 5 into 2 minus 4 into 2 square plus 3. 5 into 2 is 10 minus 4 into 2 square is 4 plus 3. That is 13 minus 16. I get it as minus 3. Now at x is equal to minus 1, what is the value? Again, I have to find p of minus 1. Instead of x, substitute minus 1. 5 into minus 1 minus 4 into x square is minus 1 the whole square. Okay, plus 3. Very careful. Be very careful with the signs. Okay. Now, what is p of minus 1? Find that also. Minus 5. Now, what is minus 1? The whole square is 1. So, minus 4 into 1 is minus 4 plus 3. Anybody getting the answer? Minus 4 minus 4 minus 5 minus 4 minus 9 plus 3. You get it as minus 6. Got the answer? Yes, very good. Very good, very good. Yeah. Yeah, sure. Hope you all got the answer, right? Yeah. Shall we go to the next question? Evaluate using identity. So this is something related to the identity topic. Okay. So 106 the whole cube. So how can you write this 106 the whole cube? Using identity, or if I say without actual calculation, evaluate so and so. And just see, first you have to do, just see the power. It is 3. Okay. That means you have cubes. The identity is related to cubes you have already learned. So something related to that you have to apply over here. Okay. Now what is this 106? Actually 100 plus 6. Right? So 106, I can write it as 100 plus 6, the whole cube. So I just split 106 into 2 different, that is 100 plus 6. Okay. Now, yes, correct. Now, what identity you have to use here? A plus B the whole cube, or x plus y the whole cube. Anything you can, yeah, x plus y the whole cube. Some textbook it is a plus B in terms of A and B. Some it is x and y. Now, what is the expansion of this? A cube plus B cube plus 3AB into A plus B. In some textbook, this is simplified version. In some, it is A cube plus B cube plus 3A square B plus 3AB square. This is also correct. The thing is that we just wanted to reduce the calculation. So instead of doing 3A square B plus 3AB square, you can take the common from these two as 3AB. So what you get remaining A, here you get B. So this is the final simplified version. I think this is the much more simplified version instead of the first one. This is both are correct. So this is, so what we have to do here? So our A is 100 and our B is 6. So 100 cube plus 6 cube plus 3 into what is A? 100 into B is 6 into A plus B. 100 plus 6, that is 106. Now we have to solve this. No, the answer is not that. Niranjana, please check the calculations one more time. 100 cube. That means six zeros should be there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Because 100 cube means 100 into 100 into 100. If you have any doubt, just write it the side, the margin sheet, and just do the calculation if you're any doubt in the calculations. Okay, so very careful with this. If you know all the procedure, if somewhere your calculation got wrong, your entire mark will be gone. At least the teacher will give mark for the identity. If you use the correct identity, she will give the mark for that. But the remaining calculations, if any steps anywhere, if it is gone wrong, you may lose marks. Okay, so be very careful on that. Now, what is 6 cube? It is 216 plus 3 into 100, 300 into 6, 1800 into 106. So you get some answer like 1,90,800. Now, yes, 216. Now, can you find? If you have doubt, write like this: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No shame on that. Okay, be very careful. First thing is that you cannot do with a calculator, so write it over here. Okay, you get 800 and 193 digit 190 6 1 8 2 10 1 over here 9 1 1. Hope you got the answer. Just do the calculation like this itself. Okay, because you are 9th standard, but when it comes to big numbers and the exam pressure, you may lose your somewhere. Okay, you may get wrong. So if you have any doubt, just do the calculation at the side of your answer sheet. Okay, what is the final answer? It is 11,91,016. 302. It is 11,91,016. That is the answer. I got the answer from Niranjana, but your answer is a little bit, your final answer got wrong somewhere. Okay, please check on that. Okay, you got the method, right? Yeah. So instead, if you take in 3a square b, you have to do 3 into 100 square into what is b again 6. Then again 3 into this term, what you have to do 3 into 100 into 6 square. If you're okay with that, you can go with that. But for me, this is the personal favorite equation. Okay, than this one. Because this is 3ab into a plus b. Something a little more simple calculation. You can do in any way. Okay, both equations are correct only. Yeah, only thing, the final answer should be correct. The teacher needs that. Okay. Yeah, so now last, our puzzle section. Puzzle आ गया. Okay, now questions. Okay. Across a polynomial of degree 2 is called dash. Polynomial of degree 2. 2 across. What is the answer? A polynomial of degree 2. Come on, come on. Quadratic. Yes. Not quadric, quadratic. Degree 2. Q U A T R A T I C. Now, second, if P of x is equal to P of x is equal to x minus 1 and P of 1 is equal to 0, then 1 is a dash of P of x. I told you, you have P of x and you're substituting 1 that you get is a 0, then 1 is a 0 of a P of x. Is it root or 0? Because both contains, I need 4 across. Both has 4 letters. The correct answer is 0. Okay. Now, fifth one, the degree of a 0 polynomial. Degree of a 0 polynomial. Already we have discussed that. Yes, 0. Again, we get another 0. Which one? 5 across. Somewhere that 0 is. Oh, sorry. So, sorry, degree of the 0 polynomial, indefinite or indefinite, does it fit over here? Indefinite won't stick on here. It won't fit here. Any other answer? Yes, undefined. Correct, Niranjana. Correct. Indefinite, because it won't fit over here. So we have to choose the correct answer as undefined. Actually, not defined. So another word I've used is undefined. Now across everything is filled. Now down. Polynomials having only two terms. Two-term polynomial. What is called that? Non-finite. Oh, non-finite. Yeah. Having only two terms. Two terms. Having only two terms. How it is monomial? Mono means what? One. It is binomial. Yeah, correct. One down. Binomial. Now, the highest power of the variable in a polynomial is called highest power of the variable degree. Correct. Already it is almost filled, right? Degree. Okay. So this is the puzzle section. So hope you understood the topics, right? Can you just put it down in your chat? How was the class? And also just refer the flashcards for your quick revision, so that helps you for your final revision. Okay. Yes, it is clear, right? So I'm just telling you again, be very careful with the calculations. Okay. Now, based on identity, you may expect one question based on factor theorem, that factorization mainly. Based on the factorization, that you have to be very careful in doing that factorization by using the splitting the middle term. That is very important. And another is what? The based on the degree and all. You may get some two mark questions, okay, based on the degree or to identify the coefficient or something like that. You may get one question. Okay, so you will learn all these things and you all are all right. Okay, you are all are doing very well. So just do the final revision and go for the exam. Okay, so on 5th I'll be coming with another chapter, that is our third chapter, coordinate geometry. So we will see more problems and discuss our class with a detailed section. Okay, so till then, bye bye. Okay, thank you.